Hi everybody, Toby Milroy here again, Vice President for AMS, and thanks so much for watching this quick video. We're really excited to announce our latest release of the Atlas Martial Arts software. This is a new build that includes a bunch of feature requests that have come to us from our members. Obviously, as you well know, our objective with Atlas Martial Arts software is to help make your life easier, to help make operating your school smoother, simpler, more automated, to help drive more traffic to your school, to help attract and frankly make you more money. And we're really excited about this latest release. This is build 12.0.5, and we've added some really interesting, really useful features, many of which, again, like I said, have come from you, have come from our users, come from our clients, the people who are in the field every day using the application. And we're incredibly sensitive to that. We're incredibly focused on creating new feature sets that are of use and in the feature set that you're looking for as a martial arts school operator. So we're very excited about this. So let me walk you through a few of the highlights of the 12.05 build. I'm sure you're going to find lots of little enhancements. We've made lots of little design UI tweaks and fixes of little issues that may be unapparent at first, but as you explore through the application, I'm sure you're gonna see some useful enhancements. But let's look at some of the highlights. Number one is, as you well know, one of the core components of our application is the ability for you to track the attendance of your students at a very high level. And again, Atlas Martial Arts software allows you and enables you to track attendance in 5 different ways. You can use the fingerprint scanner. You can use the barcode scanner for like a traditional attendance card type of a mechanism, or a label that you put on something. You can use the check-in feature, the check-in module, and you can use the Android app or the iOS app. And we've now added another enhancement to our attendance module. Now, obviously, we all know how important it is to track our attendance and how critical it is to make sure that we're on top of our students and monitoring who's coming, who's not coming, and taking appropriate action. As you well know, these conversion numbers and our retention numbers are all based on students who are attending classes, as well as these student ratings on the right over here. Obviously, we have our A, B, and C students and our MIA students. This is based on a 14-day rotating clock, right? So the A, B, C student ratings are, you set how many times a student comes to class that you want to consider them to be an A student, a B student, or a C student, right? Or an MIA student. So now, how do they track their attendance? Again, you have 5 mechanisms, and today you'll have a 6th. But it's critically important that in your school you're very focused on making sure that we're monitoring everyone's attendance, that we have an accurate track of the classes they're coming to. So the new enhancement is this. If you go to the student list, this is the list of all my students. You will want to filter this by style, right? So that it knows what style. As you know, in the application, you can track very granularly the classes that your students are coming to. And those classes are divided by rank and style and team and program and any permutation thereof. So it is important that we give them credit for the right class. So let's say, for example, I just want to, instead of using the check-in module, instead of using the barcode, instead of using the fingerprint scanner, instead of using the app, iOS or Android, I just want to go on my iPad or maybe into my PC, whatever the case is, and I just want to tick off the people that are here, right? So here's how you can do that. You can go to the student list. You can filter your style. So for example, let's say it's a BJJ class, right? And here are all my BJJ students. I've got, it looks like 4 BJJ students in my database. And I see that this student is here and this student is here. So all I have to do is tick them, go to Group Actions, and add an attendance, right? And now I have the ability to pick the check-in date and time that I'm going to check them in. I'm basically marking an attendance in their file based on their style, the date, and the time. Again, if I have 2 BJJ classes, an 11 o'clock class and a 2 o'clock class, it's important for me to be able to add the time that I'm checking them in, right? So right now I'm checking in for, let's say, my 11 o'clock class, so I can put in 11 o'clock if I want to do that. I can also just kind of click in here and type it as well. So I have an 11 o'clock, I'm going to check them in, click Add Attendance, and now they've now been, for lack of a better purpose, checked in for that 11 o'clock class, right? So I think you can see how useful of a feature this is. For example, let's use one with some more sample data. Okay, so here's my karate program, and it looks like I have 15 students in my karate program. I could filter by my karate program, and let's say that this is my, beginner white belt class. So now it returns to me just the students who are beginner white belts in karate. And again, I could tick them all if I wanted to by using the tick all button, or I could click or unclick whichever students are in class right now, and simply go to group actions, add an attendance, and check them in for that class. You can also add that attendance per student one at a time if you wanted to. So for example, let's say Sharon Brown just turned up for class maybe 5 minutes late, and I've already checked the rest of the class in. I can simply go to her record, her name on the list, and add an attendance directly to her as well. So again, this is a very cool feature, highly requested feature that many schools now want to be able to take attendance just with their iPad standing in front of the class, or with an Android phone, or with their Note 5, or whatever the case is, as people walk in, or in front of the class, whatever the case might be. Totally up to you. You now have a sixth mechanism to track and mark attendance in your school. So very cool. The other piece I would add to this is, in addition to batch adding attendances, you can now also batch promote people in the student screen. In the past, you had to go to the promote section. As you well know, we built a separate section designed specifically for promoting students, where we have your belt and tip and how many weeks you've been in class, how many classes you've attended, those types of columns. And this is where we typically promoted people. So we would find the style and the rank, and we would promote them from here, either with a group action promote here, or with a single action in their action button. But now we've also extended that functionality to just the student list. So you can do it all right here, just like we did with our attendance. So I can go to select filter by style. Let's say again it was my BJJ class, and I just had a rank testing, and this person passed their test. I can just tick them, go to the group actions, promote those two people. Are you sure you want to promote this person and this person? Yes, I do. And they are now promoted. So very cool. We've, again, eliminated having to go to a separate section, the promote section, to promote people. You can now do it directly from the student list. So again, this was a highly requested feature, and we listened, we really looked at this and developed this feature because we believe it'll save you some clicks, save you some time, save you some energy. So we're pretty excited about that. Number 3. If you're using the AMS billing processes, eRequest is an important part of your life. It's something that you use to communicate back and forth from AMS in a very easy, simple way, without having to, be on the telephone and things like that. You can do this asynchronously. You can send them at night or in the day, whenever you want to. You'll see that we've added several new enhancements to the eRequest area. We have now filters for read and unread messages, so you can set your inbox up so you don't even have to look at unread messages anymore if you don't want to. And you also have automated or regular messages. As you know, the Atlas system is designed for automation and speed, and it will automatically send you updates when payments are made through AMS's systems. So maybe you don't want to see those automated messages. Maybe you do. You have the ability to filter those right here. You can also filter by date. So if I only want to see if I want to filter for all of my January 2015 messages, I can do that. Or if maybe I just want to see May, I can do that as well. So we've added nice filtering functionality to your eRequest area. Again, for our billing clients, for folks who use full service billing services, eRequests are a very useful, very powerful tool, and we've now made them even better. So hopefully you'll get a kick out of that. Now next, let's move into the web form builder. And we're going to move this navigation around here. But we've added some really significant enhancements to our web form builder, and we have many more to come, by the way. So we're very excited about this. Many of our members are now using Atlas's web forms on their websites to capture and collect leads and to automatically trigger our marketing automation campaigns. So if you're not currently doing that, if you don't currently have a website that generates prospects every day, right, a prospect generation website, a lead generation website, then give our folks here at AMS a call at Atlas World headquarters, and we can help you with that. In fact, for our Atlas users, for our high-level Atlas users, we're actually doing their entire website for them for free right now. Now, that's not going to last very long, right? But for now, we're doing that. So it's something you really may want to investigate. It's really a powerful new feature for our members. But in our dynamic web form builder machine over here, we've added some new features. Number one is we've added the ability for you to require or not require fields in the form. So for example, under the cell phone number, if I wanted the cell phone to be a field in my form, I can now click the required button, and that field will now be required by your users. They will not be able to submit this form unless they do put in a cell phone number. We're doing some data validation on that too, so they're going to have to put in a 10-digit number. We can't obviously check to see if it's an accurate phone number, but we can check to see if it's in the right format. So we have the required ability now, which is very useful. We also have the ability for you to control the label, meaning where this says first name and last name and cell phone number or alternate phone or address or city, state, zip, email, you can now control what that says. And I, in fact, would highly encourage that. For example, for email address, I highly encourage you to put, please enter your best email address or something like that, right? It's somewhat, you get somewhat more of a compliance if you ask the question appropriately. So all you have to do to change the label is just click on the label, and it'll open a little editor, and you can put your best email address. And then you can just hit the check mark, and then now it'll say your best email address. And I'm going to make that required just as a matter of course, and I'll drop that over on my form, and you'll see now the label says your best email address, right? So you have the option and opportunity to control all of those fields now. Okay, so there's that. We've also added obviously the address, city, state, zip, your best email address, and how did you hear about us. We've added those fields as well, and we have many more fields to come. Also, we've added for our responsive websites, it's pretty important that you can control the width of your form, right? So we've now added a form max width setting. So you can put in here, let's say I want this form to be 250 pixels. It'll now be 250 pixels at maximum, or maybe I want 500 pixels. You can just pop that in there, and it will constrain the size of your form. For example, if you're dropping this into your website on a page, you'll want to constrain that form to whatever width that you want. So those are the enhancements to the web form builder, and we're pretty excited about that. They're pretty useful. The ability to change your labels is really useful, and it's something that I know that you're going to like. Okay, so obviously the web form builder is designed to help you capture leads from your website. So let's say, for example, I go to my kids martial arts squeeze page, right? And this is one of the websites that our guys will do for you over here for free. And I go to my kids martial arts squeeze page. When your visitor fills out this web form, this data will then be automatically put into your Atlas martial arts software system, right? And you set the program interest to kids so that they will then also drop into the marketing automation sequence for children. Does that make sense? So the workflow here is visitor comes to your website. They sort themselves out by market, for lack of a better description. They are presented with the pretty well done video squeeze pages that we've done for you, frankly. We do this all for you basically for free. And then inside the web form, they fill out the web form to take advantage of or to see your web special and your free bonuses. They click submit. All that information goes into your Atlas system and gets automatically dropped into the marketing automation sequence, the series of emails and text messages and steps that you've built inside the system to get them then to become a student. So that's what the web form builder is all about, and that's why we're really excited about all these enhancements. So again, I hope that's going to be very useful for you. Our global search. We've done a lot of enhancements in our global search area. Again, if you're looking for a buyer or a student or a prospect or a community member and you're not exactly sure whether they're a buyer or a student or if they're a prospect or whatever they might be, we've done a lot of enhancements in this global search area up here on the left, so that all you have to do is type in just a part of their name, like Jones, for example, Jon, E or whatever, and it's going to give you those results. So you see I have a student named Sandy Jones, and I have a buyer named David Jones, right? Well, that's very cool, right? Very useful functionality. Let's try Smith, just to see if we have any Smiths. Yeah, look at all the Smiths we have. We have 3 students named Smith. We have 3 prospects, 2 buyers, and 2 contacts. Well, in addition now to being able to search by the name, you can also search by many other fields, and we're adding many more as time goes on. But let's say I don't know this prospect's name, I just know their phone number. So maybe I know that their phone number has a 5252 in it or something like that. Well, look, now it's returning to me every student, prospect, buyer, contact, everything, any contact in my system who has 5252 in their phone number, right? Or anywhere in their record, frankly, but it's searching their phone numbers as well. Does that make sense? So it's a very cool feature, a very cool enhancement that allows you to search by more than just names, right? First name, last name, phone number. You can even search by email address. So if I want everybody who has a Gmail email address, I guess I have to spell it right. I can type in Gmail, and now it gives me all the people who have Gmail email addresses, or maybe Outlook. Not sure if I have any Outlooks. Yeah, I probably don't. How about Yahoo? Yeah, so I have some people who in here who have Yahoo email addresses, right? So again, we've added a lot of functionality to the global search, which is a very cool feature, very cool function that we really use a lot in managing individual students. So I hope that all that's been useful for you. I really appreciate your time. Get into Atlas, click around, check out all these new features and pieces of functionality. I think you're really going to love it. Again, if you're not currently using Atlas Martial Arts software, most of the features that we just talked about today have come by way of feature suggestion from our users. We really listen to our members, to our clients, and not only have I personally, but our entire executive team over here at AMS, we've all operated very highly successful multi-school organizations. And our guiding principle is making all of this easier, making it easier to operate your school on a day-to-day basis and more profitable on a long-term basis. So these tools are designed to help you do exactly that. So if you're currently not using Atlas Martial Arts software, I encourage you to go to atlasmartialartssoftware.com, check it out, do a little demo, take a look at the application and see what it can do for you. If you're currently, paying for a website separately, or paying for billing services separately, or paying for software separately, we can not only save you a bunch of money, but frankly make you a lot more money, right? Frankly, help you create a much more successful business. Now, for folks who are already using Atlas Martial Arts software and who are in some cases also using our AMS full service billing solutions, there are about 4 other new enhancements I think they're going to be very useful for you. Let's start at the dashboard. As you well know, again, as I described earlier, tracking attendance, tracking students' progress through your system is a critical component of our application. And you know that in order to check in order to accurately track attendance, you have to know what the student's style and program and rank are, right? So that they can be appropriately credited the right class. Now, some schools don't use that. Some schools don't use the class system and stuff like that. That's totally up to you. But if you're focused on tracking your students at the highest level, you want to make sure that every student is assigned to their style, right? That if they're doing karate, if they're doing taekwondo, if they're doing after school program, whatever the case might be, you want to make sure that they're in the right style. Well, we're helping you with that. We're giving you a notification if for some reason anyone in your system is not assigned to a style yet. And sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes it's an oversight of a staff member or whatever the case might be. So you'll see now, as you log into the dashboard, right here in the sort of on the right, anytime that there's a student who isn't assigned to a style, you're going to see a little red button here that says, hey, 2 students are not assigned to a style. And you're going to want to take a look at that and get them assigned to a style if you're using that part of the attendance tracking module. So again, we're helping you make sure that your attendance numbers are accurate and focused. So that's what that feature is for. Very useful, and just within one click, you get the list. You can call them, you can text them, you can do whatever you want to do from here and get them set up for a style. Get them assigned to a style. Next is in our agreement section, by way of feature request, several of our members requested that they could change the agreement type on a current agreement and do it easily, right? So for example, if someone was on an AMS Kids agreement or a regular agreement, for example, and they switched over to AMS Kids, they switched over to an after-school program model. Well, in the past, you had to cancel this agreement, create a new one, right? Well, now you can actually go in and just change the agreement type sort of in real time. So let's say this 2, 3, 4, 5 testing student is on a regular agreement, but he should be on a trial agreement, or he should be on an AMS Kids agreement, one or the other. I can just go over here to Actions, drop that down, and see the Upgrade Agreement Type box, and I can just switch him over to a trial. Click it, and he is now a trial agreement. I can now also then, obviously, if I have a trial agreement and he's now a regular agreement, I can just move him over to back to regular, and it's now done the same thing, right? So that's a useful feature for folks who have asked for that. You now have the ability to change that in real time. The last piece is we also have now for our AMS billing clients, in our account list, in our accounts area, we've added some new filters and sorting ability, right? Obviously I only have a little bit of sample data here, but you now have the ability to filter all of these agreements by status, whether they're on hold, paid out, to transfer, to collections, or canceled. You also have the ability to filter, to sort any of these by payment amount, due date, past due number of days, these types of things. So we're adding more robust functionality to your account list as well. So I know that that's been another highly sort of requested feature, and we're really happy to be able to roll that out at this point. So again, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope all that's useful for you. I really look forward to meeting you at one of our live events or seeing you at a training session. Again, keep the great ideas coming. Go to support.atlasmartialartssoftware.com so that you can submit your, and actually the link is right here on the left-hand side. On the left side under Atlas Support, here is the feature request forum. So you can simply click that button and jump into the feature request area and add your own feature requests here. I'm very proud to say that we've, in this build, just this build alone, we've answered and addressed like 26 feature requests from our users, from the people who are using our application every day. So we're really excited about that. We really hope that these are going to be useful for you. It's going to help you make your school much more efficient and frankly help you build a more successful location. So hope that's useful for you. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks so much.